catch this. There's a website called Fast People Search.
Fast People Search.
And I believe that's free, actually.
Even if it's the something to pay, it's worse. So fast, correct? Fast People
Search. Fast People Search. I believe that is a free system. So there's a couple different systems that I would recommend. Let me type them in here. One sec. Okay, so one that Kathy Ray uses a lot is called fastpeoplesearch.com. I believe that's free. We also have something called
Yellow Pages and not white pages.
Yeah, I'll get to that in 1 second. I have that. I can explain that. There's another one called forewarn.com. So forewarn.com is a system that I believe they use like some really high tech, like FBI type software, like private investigator type software. And we're actually trying to get a big group together of people who might want access for a discounted rate. So if you want to learn more about that, forewarn.com, you can reach out to Lucy and let her know you're interested, and she's in the process of putting together a group.
Because today I had I was sitting there to make the list for the expert, make the call, and I had a hard time because the system which is I use, it's not the correct, and even it was like the very hard to do that. So, but I still make like the 10 calls at least. So
the other site that I use, I have a website called, or I have a subscription to something called whitepages.com/pro. That is a service that basically, if you have the person's name and address, which presumably you would if you're calling expireds, right? Then about
white page. How will you say white page?
I typed it in the chat box.
You did.
Whitepages.com/pro. So it's kind of expensive. It's like $139 a month. I use that for a lot of recruiting. I use it for buyers and sellers too, but the primary reason why I'm willing to pay for that is for recruiting. And if you don't get too abusive, you can just send me a couple names every day, and I'll have my assistant look it up for you for free. Because it's unlimited search. We have unlimited search for it. But it's like $139 a month, I think.
If it's the really good source, I'm not mind to pay under the $100. It's okay under the $100.
I'll tell you, we found that data to be pretty good. About 90% of the time, the names have telephone numbers, and I would say whitepages.com/pro. So about 90% of the time, the data spits out a number for us, or multiple numbers for us. And I've found that probably about 2/3 of the time, there's a good number in there. So I might get somebody's name with like 3 numbers. More often than not, I can get the accurate number. I might get the guy's sister or the guy's ex-wife or something, but more often than not, I can get a working number. And then I can chase down the person I'm looking for based on who I get hold of. Right. I would also look at that forewarn.com. I think the subscription for that, once we get a group together, is probably going to be somewhere in the neighborhood of around $15 a month. It's going to be much more affordable. But if you're
it's okay.
If you're ever in a bind and you need me to look up somebody, just send me the name and I'll get my assistant to look it up for you. Okay.
Yeah. Sure.
Okay.
And one more thing. My wife probably going to sign up for the real estate courses.
Beautiful.
So she thinks about that. So which courses is better to take for the new agents? There is the online courses from the MLS.
Yeah, I don't know that anyone's doing any in-person classes right now, to be honest. What I have found is the ones that I've heard the best results for are Barney Fletcher. I'll type it in here. Barney
Fletcher. Yeah, I hear the Barney Fletcher.
Fletcher.com. And there's another one that's called learningrealestate.com. I think they actually were just bought out, and I think they're something called capitus.com right now. And then there's another school called, it's either called The Real Estate Express or just Real Estate Express. One of the two. They usually have the cheapest price. I've seen it as low as like $230 or something like that.
Well, it's not so bad.
Here's the thing. Here's the thing with the pre-license though, is some people get kind of carried away about, am I learning the right stuff? Am I not learning the right stuff? The fact is they don't teach themselves real estate anyway. They're just getting you ready to take the test. So all these places
Just
that
take the license and just come for training.
yeah, right. I mean, if you don't know how many feet are in a mile after you pass your test, just look it up. Right. If you forget what riparian rights are, just look it up. Right. You forget what Title 10 is, Title 8 is, Title 9 is, whatever, just look it up. Right now, you just got to keep the state happy. What the benefit of being at a company like KW is we actually teach you how to build business, right? Teach you what your calendar should look like, how to set goals, how to understand the metrics behind the business, how to get in front of people, how to present to them, how to use technology, coaching, training, all that stuff. So the real meat of growing a business you'll find once you select the brokerage. But all the sites that I listed here, I've heard good things about. And remember, the organization that you take your pre-license through is not connected at all with the firm that you'll ultimately join.
Okay.
Make sense?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Right.
So it looks like we got a kind of a tight knit group today. So I want to make sure that I give you guys exactly what you came for. Lawanda, David, Lawanda. Lawanda has been in the business for a long time. Thank you. About 15, 16 years or so. She is was
No, time goes fast.
Many years ago at KW, and after a couple of other places has returned, and she jumped right back into productivity coaching, and she's out there finding buyers and sellers every day, right? David is also new to Keller Williams, so you guys are there. You are, David. What do you want to share about? I'm just getting to know you. I don't know you as well.
Yeah, quick question. Not question. I'm licensed from 2003, and I used to work like 1 year or 2 years, and then I moved in New York, and I used to work in the Manhattan. But mostly what I done in Manhattan, it was the apartment rental. So I have the great experience in apartment rentals. So I came back in Georgia, but after that I never not practiced the real estate. But I always liked the real estate. It was my passion, and I keep the license. And I was the transportation business. I owned a company. But it's kind of the call. I decided to come back and go back in the business and do real estate again.
Awesome. So I'd say one thing you probably have some good experience with is just dealing with a very kind of fast-paced environment, right? New listings. Oh, I got to go uptown to show this, downtown to show this. I got to get into relationship with this particular brokerage and this particular agent. Like you've kind of seen how fast the market can move, and I assume you have a pretty good comfort level with that, and I think you'll be able to translate some of those skills that you've developed over time and be real good at helping your people down here.
Yes.
Perfect. Well,
it's kind of different practice, but many things it's familiar. Many things I need to polish the knowledge, and the technology and everything it's improving. And like the 10 years back and today is a different life. So.
Oh yeah. Now you can do just about anything with your computer, right? Yeah. Okay. Well, let's do this. Talk to me a little bit about how can we make the next 45 minutes the most productive 45 minutes of your day, of your week? What can I give you or say to you or pour into you that will be the most beneficial right now? What do you think? This might be a quick session.
Good question. Okay.
What did you hope to hear today, David?
I want to a little bit more about the lead generation.
Okay.
If it's okay, because without that, our business, no business. So we need the leads. We need to constantly get the customers and move on. So a little bit about the what source I can, use to make the more leads coming in the pipeline.
Okay.
So we know the database. So we know to how handle that. But beside the database, what else? Can we talk a little bit more about the ads, Google ads or Facebook ads, or what we can do to attract the more people to we can convert these people as the leads and after that as the customers.
Yes. Okay, I got that on the list. I got a couple things I can talk about with respect to that. Luan, do you have anything? Anything in particular? Okay, let's do this. I just want to start with one of the things that that you'll learn. It won't take you long of being at Keller Williams before you start a lot of these types of discussions in the following way, right? You basically say something like you just said, David, which is, how does this whole lead generation thing work, right? I want to make sure, I want to try to get more leads from more places. I want to learn how to do the conversion. I want to get more efficient at my presentations and my pre-qualification, and I want to book more appointments and take more listings, right? So the first question that you generally are trained to ask when you're at KW is to say something like this: I wonder if there's a model for this, right? Is anyone nailing this, right? Who has mastered this whole lead generation thing? And let me try to basically jump right in and try to figure out, well, what are the best practices that they use, and what do they do to be super efficient with their time and their money, and where did they waste time and money? And if we can just jump right in and figure out what the great practices are and what the lousy practices are, then we don't have to waste that time and money, right? So I just got done taking a course called Maps Models. So I want to walk you through a couple of the models for lead gen. It'll start at like a 30,000 foot view, and we'll touch on the Facebook ads and all that stuff. Okay. So I'm going to share my screen with you guys for just a moment.
And I'm sorry, I didn't realize I was on mute when I was talking.
Okay, go ahead. What else would you like to learn about today?
No, it's just because I see how you have your schedule that you send out to us each week. Yes. And I like to where you have the, you have the career, family, fitness, all these things on there. And I would like to be able to develop mine and, and start checking off things, on a daily basis as, how you got it set up. So I think I need the scheduling part to stick to that schedule for the, like, David said, lead generation, that kind of stuff so it's time blocked.
Okay, perfect. We got a packed day. Let's start with David. We'll come back to you in a couple minutes. Okay, Luanda? Okay. All right. I'm going to show you lots of resources today. This is something that is in the Drive. Remember that we have access to the Google Drive. Hang on one second. I'm just going to post a lot of links here for you. So as soon as you see me post it, copy it and put it out somewhere else where you can re-access it in the future. Okay. I'm going to be manipulating my screen quite a bit with you guys right now. Hang tight. Okay. Pretty much everything that I show you today is going to be in the Google Drive. So you can access that at any time. I'm going to send you do both of you have the link for the Google Drive? You know what I'm talking about, right?
Yes, sorry, I had on mute, sorry, yes.
Okay, all right. So the Google Drive, I will, here is the link right here. Anytime that you say, I wonder if Bill has a copy of that somewhere. Okay, there's a good chance that if it's not here, then I can very quickly send it to you because it might just be somewhere different. So that is the Google Drive. Every time I go to a class or I got a cool checklist or spreadsheet or or something like that, I'm putting it into this way. Okay, so there's lots and lots of resources in that place. So that within there's a document called the Maps Models. Okay, Maps Models Workshop, and that's what we're going to look at right this second. The Maps Models Workshop. I'm going to share my screen one more time. Okay, and we're going to go to page 35. Okay, here is Guys, this is like every model that Keller Williams has like ever created, from leadership to growth to team building to the financials, budget model, lead gen, economic model, expansion, everything. It's basically the model page after page after page after page. Okay, so this has been this was a huge opportunity to take this course. I really, really enjoyed this course. So here's how we want to look at the lead generation from afar. Okay, it's in a couple of phases. The first phase is lead capture. Okay, lead capture is made up of essentially two different types of prospecting, or two different types of lead generation. One is prospecting, one is marketing. Remember, prospecting is generally when you go to them, right, with a message and an ask, right? Marketing is when you put a message out there into the world and the hope is that they'll come back to you. Make sense? So marketing would be, I'm going to send out some mailers to a neighborhood, or I'm going to post a Facebook ad. And my hope is I'm going to stop the scroll, what they call stop the scroll, because we all are like this all day long, right? And in order for them to see our ad and do anything about it, they basically have to stop the scroll and then click on something, so that then they're input their information. And the only way they're inputting their information is if your ad or your offering is so compelling that they have to stop and get it. And they're basically trading their contact information for whatever you're trying to offer them. Does that make sense?
Yes.
So 20 years ago, when MREA was written, they basically said you needed a marketing-based and prospecting-enhanced business. Now they say it's the opposite. Okay. Now, interestingly enough, prospecting generally is cheaper, but it's more time-intensive. Marketing is the opposite. It's generally more expensive, but you kind of do it and you send it out into the world. The biggest issue is with marketing, you essentially have no control, right? You send out all 2,000 postcards and you hope to God somebody responds. But you've got no control once they see it. You can't handle an objection or call again or something like that without it being more money. So I'm going to encourage you, when you're thinking about your overall lead generation plan, you should have a component of it that is prospecting based. When you're going out to the community, you're going out to the marketplace and basically asking for the business. That would be cold calling or open houses or expired listings or sphere of influence, that kind of stuff. And marketing is when you're basically, branding and telling people about a new listing, or, hey, come to this home buyer seminar, and you hope that they come back. Okay. So you got a little bit of both. Now the goal here is to take leads from the world and put them into your database. That's where section 2 is, relationship management. Okay. And then a lead is basically somebody who you don't have a two-way exchange with. They're basically just, they may have responded to like a, what's the value of my home thing, or they may, have clicked on a Facebook ad, but you've never gotten them on the phone. So basically you have two sections where you're trying to take these leads and through a series of texts and emails and touches, trying to strengthen that existing relationship to make them contacts, and then try to determine which of the contacts are the strongest so you can give them interactive and need-based offerings and prepare them for conversion. So at all times, you've got a database that's full of a bunch of people that have a variety of time frames, right? Somebody might want to do something this weekend, and somebody might have just bought something they're not going to do anything for 10 years, okay? And then we're constantly massaging that database, right? Giving the people what they want when they want it, so that it spits out new business, repeat business, and referrals. Does that make sense? Okay. Yes. So then we say, what is even the purpose of a database? It's building a predictable business around you, around people who know you, like you, trust you, and are willing to do business with you. Okay. We can skip this little piece here. Skip this little piece here. Again, prospecting based, which is time insensitive, proactive, whereas marketing is passive. And this is looking for immediate results and feedback. Do you want to list your FSBO with me? Yes or no? Marketing might be, I'd like to get to know you, and if you want to buy something in the next 4 years, that's cool. See what I'm saying? You're building the long-term relationship. Okay. Here's the list I was looking for. Okay. Here is kind of a general idea of some prospecting tools or prospecting styles, right? FSBO, expired, just sold, just listed, past clients, allied resources. Allied resources, for example, David would be a roofer, right? It would essentially be any home-related vendor. It could be a carpenter, a painter, a flooring guy, a roofer, an HVAC company, a termite company, a pest control company. It could be an appraiser. It could be a closing attorney. It could be a landscape company. It could be a full service. It could be any of these ancillary companies that help service the people that we support, right? These are all people that will be seeing your prospects and your clients like in between the time that you service them, right? So let's say I help Luanda buy a home. Luanda is in my database. She's nice and happy. And then 6 months later, she needs a lawn guy. And then 5 months after that, she needs a fan replaced. And then 10 months after that, she needs a window replaced. And then, 3 years later, she needs her water heater replaced. And then she's going to put in some new hardwood floors. Then she needs a bathroom guy to come and remodel the bathroom. So all of these touch moments throughout her time of owning the home, all those vendors that support Luanda, you want to also kind of reinforce the relationship that she has with her agent. Make sense?
Yes.
So just like you're feeding these people business, you got a bricklayer, you got a pool guy, a termite guy, whatever. They should be supporting you too, right? And I got to be honest with you, I'm not going to give a ton of business to somebody who doesn't give me business back, right? And I got a short fuse. If you screw up, if you make a fool out of me, if I put you in front of one of my special people and you're rude, or you're a bigot, or you don't show up on time, or you overcharge them, or you do crappy work, you're done, right? Because I'm going to have to go make it right, and I don't want to have to do that. See what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So you should have this attitude around you that if you can't, like when you prospect for buyers, that's awesome. When you're prospecting for a home-related vendor, that's just as valuable because these people are interacting with you all day long. Also, their job is leading too, right? And you want them to be able to recognize opportunities for you in their daily discussions, in their daily follow-up, in their daily discussions. So just like we always talk about building our business through buyers and sellers, don't forget you can also build your business through other professionals. Does that make sense? I used to have a flooring guy. Every time he'd be called to a home, we're going to put tile there, we're going to put carpet there, his specialty was we call it decorative cement, right? So like he'd do like a cement pathway, and then like he'd do this artsy thing where like it'd be this cool little pattern or something like that, right? So he'd be called to these people's houses to do all this work, and he would have some person call it. So we're doing this work, right? Some of the people were doing it to their home for sale. You guys hear me okay? Can you hear me okay?
Now a little bit
like
better. It's just a little bit. Go off and come back.
Okay, is it good now?
It's
yes.
Okay.
Okay, so every time that he would be called to somebody's house to do a project, he'd say, "What are you doing this for?" And when he found out there may be an opportunity for me to help this person, like literally, this is in the old days, so he'd like put his hand on the guy's shoulder, right, when we could touch each other, and he'd be like, "Hey, do not make a real estate decision without talking to Bill first. You got it?" And I'm like, yeah. And he's like, "No, I'm serious. There's a lot of bad agents out there. Do not make any decisions until you speak to Bill first. Got it?" You see what I'm saying? So first you develop the relationships with these vendors, then you teach them how to help you. Okay. So a geographic farm, right? So maybe you want to help, maybe you want to find a particular series of neighborhoods or one or two neighborhoods that has a certain amount of turnover, right? That the homes sell relatively quickly, that they don't have a dominant agent, right? It might be near where you are. It might be in like kind of a move up price range. Let's say this is a gross generalization, but let's say somebody has a $350,000 house now. Okay, more often than not, they've got equity in that home. Okay, they probably bought it for $275,000, right? So not only can they sell it, but they can sell it with equity, and potentially they can sell in a seller's market and move up and buy in a buyer's market in the same town, which is pretty rare historically, right? So you might use a geographic farming. Geographic farming, by the way, can be done digitally too. So David, it's a reference to Facebook. They had to it's a little harder now because you used to go in there and say, "I want women between the ages of 30 and 36 who make this amount of money and who are white," right? Or any of these kind of things. And it was really, really specific. Now they back off all that stuff so they don't get into any trouble. So it's a little bit, you can't be that specific. Okay, but there are tools in Facebook where you can type, let's say 15-mile radius, and you can design an ad and send it out to people that have Facebook accounts that live in that radius. So let's say you're hosting a house or something, you can do it that way. I'll be the first to tell you, I'm not a Facebook ad guru, but I can point you in a number of places, directions where you can go meet the gurus, and you can either learn how to do it yourself, or you can pay somebody to learn how to do it for you. Okay. Apartments, right? These are people that, there's some luxury apartments now. They're like over $2,000 a month to live in. Like, these people should be buying, right? So we got to figure out why are these people renting? Right now they're here for a short-term job thing or something like that, and there's probably reasons. Maybe they just got a divorce or something, but these are people that have the funds to be buyers in the future, the near future, right? Builders, banks, third-party companies, that was the vendors, investors, door to door, right? Door knocking. Client parties are a little tougher now, but who's to say you could invite people to a Zoom cocktail hour or some home buyers seminar on Zoom? Yeah, I'm trying to remember. I think it was an agent out of Florida, and what they did is they sent an invite to their database was full of families, right? And they sent an invite to all the families, and they hired a clown. And the clown did a performance over Zoom, and hundreds of families with all their little kids came and attended, right? Let's think out of the box. How can we use Zoom in a really cool way? My daughter was invited to a birthday party a couple weeks ago where the family dropped off like these little touring packets, right, ahead of time. And then they all got on them together, and they're like, okay, we're going to open up the flowering or the coloring packet. And they dropped up like, a couple of different color crayons. Okay, here's red one, we're going to color in the blue. Well, you know what I'm saying? And everyone did it at the same time. It's like, it's life in 2020, right? That's what we have to do sometimes now. So how
it's muffled, Bill. It keeps going muffled.
Yes.
Okay. Is that any better?
That is right there. Yep.
I'll try not to do. Did you hear any of that?
Most of it, no.
Okay. All right. Let's see. Let me put you on let me see if this works any better.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay, is that her?
Yes, seems so.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Okay, so there's a lot of really cool things that you can do from a client event standpoint over Zoom, where your clients can interact, in real time. I was just giving an example. My daughter was invited to a birthday party a few weeks ago where the hosting family, they went around the neighborhood, they dropped off like a bag of like the supplies, if you will. And it was like a few sheets of paper with some different coloring things on it. And they dropped off, a blue crayon, a green crayon, a yellow crayon, a red crayon, or whatever. And then everyone got on the Zoom together and they did a coloring activity together, right? Or a clown performed for all the kids of the families in your database, right? So is there anything that you can do from a Zoom perspective that could involve the people in your database? How can you pour into them? Not necessarily from a real estate standpoint. They know you're in real estate, but how can you do something that is going to surprise or delight them, right? What's a little bit unusual, that's not too expensive, that's just a really creative, clever idea, right? Seminars. Can you do a seminar on refinancing? Is it the right time to refinancing? Right? If you've got a bunch of renters in your database, hey, let's do a little home buyer seminar and invite a lender to come in and share some ideas about what it would take to buy, prepping yourself to buy, right?
First-time buyers.
Yeah. It could also be investors, right? I went to a seminar not so long ago where they said basically every single person that you've ever helped buy a home, $300,000 or above, those people should be investing in real estate too. So you should bring every single one of them in for a personalized one-on-one investment seminar. Give them a copy of the Millionaire Real Estate Investor. I'm trying to see, I think my copy is at the Market Center. The Millionaire Real Estate Investor say, hey, this is what I do for every one of my clients that buys a home in the price range that you bought one. My job is to be your economist of choice and your real estate partner forever. And I want to help you build some wealth. So I want you to read this, and we're going to talk about it in a week. And I don't care if you buy a place this month or this year or 10 years from now, but I want you to be thinking about real estate investing. Do you guys know that 75% of the world's wealth, 75% of the United States' wealth is tied up in real estate? Do you think that's a coincidence? Your people should know that.
Right.
And then when they want to get wealthy because of real estate, they need to go through you to get there. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
And then when they get wealthy, they can tell their not yet wealthy friends that it's time to get wealthy and go call LaWanda. Make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so these are some prospecting tactics, right? Marketing tactics, newspapers, personal vehicles, magazine, bus stops, directionals, name badges, logo shirts, billboards, yellow pages, moving vans, car signs, all this kind of stuff, social media, pay-per-click, SEO. There's a couple of, I'm going to stop sharing my screen for 2 seconds so I can chat with you guys on a few things.
Okay.
Okay, I want you to follow a couple of Facebook groups, okay? Lab Coat Agents. That is not just KW, that's agents from all over. There's almost 100,000 real estate agents in the country on that site or on that Facebook group, okay? If you were to say, hey, I'm looking to get involved in Facebook ads, or hey, has anyone ever used this piece of software? Or hey, what's the best practice for hosting an open house or something? You're literally going to get swarmed with people ready to help you, okay? So you can use and they all have files sections. So you can go in there and look to see, you know, has anyone uploaded any files that would be helpful for me? These kind of things. That's one. Another one is called KW Command. Another one is called Command Your Conversion. There's another guy named Nick Baldwin. He's an awesome guy to follow. He actually is a co-founder of Lab Coat Agents and runs the Command Your Conversion page. There's another gentleman named Marty Miller. He runs 66-day challenges through Command. If you look at In Command with Sam, that is the YouTube page for our Director of Innovation and Technology, Sam Jackson, who works just for Georgia Legacy, the offices. He has another website that is called, what's it called? Transition to DocuSign. Okay. Lots of video content on there. Okay. So if you are on these, oh, and there's another guy named, gosh, what's his name? I'm seeing his face right now. I'll think of it in a second. If you're on these pages, you're going to see people that are just, it's almost like they sit at their computer all day waiting for somebody to ask a question so that they can help. Believe me, there's a lot of agents that are ready to help you and support you. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Gosh, what is his name? I can't remember right now.
Or email.
Okay. So let's go back to the sharing of the screen real fast. Now, somebody asked me today, do we have to do all these things? Right. Or do we have to cold call people? Do we have to host open houses? Do we have to do a client event? And I kind of had a pretty raw answer for them. Do you know what I told them? I said, honestly, I don't really care what you do. But the fact of the matter is you need X number of appointments every month to hit your goal. So if whatever you're doing is not creating those appointments, you need to try something else. Is that fair?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Question, Bill, I'm sorry. Nick Baldwin, is he a speaker consultant?
Yeah, that's the guy. He's got like a big beard.
Well, he has his beard covered up because he says wear a mask, save a life.
Yeah, that's him. Yeah, he's a regional tech trainer out of the Michigan, Northern Ohio region.
Okay.
He's a big KW celebrity guy. Super, super nice guy. So I said to them, look, number one, what I just said presupposes that we understand how many people we actually need to be in touch with every day and how many appointments that we need to book every week, right? But once you know that, that's all that matters. I could care less if you call FSBOs, but if you're not booking enough appointments, you better figure out an alternative strategy. And I'm here to help you figure that out. But if, you know, this is not directed at you guys, but I'm not comfortable with this, I'm not comfortable with that, fine. Then prove to me that you don't need to do that.
Right.
Okay. But if you're not booking enough appointments in your style and the way you want to run your business, then help me understand how we're going to fix that. Does Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Okay. Okay, so just a small sidebar, please make sure you understand how many appointments you need. So both of you have the MREA2 spreadsheets where we identify what those numbers are. So if you're unclear about that, let's talk about it offline. Okay, so if you look a little bit later in the system, we don't have enough time to go through all of this today, but there's another page here. This is page 45 in that document. It's a 192 page document. Page 45. There's basically two different touch campaigns that you want to be employing with your database. 36 to convert is to the entire database. Okay. And they give some suggestions on what those 36 touches are. 19 to connect is basically how you take somebody that is really not a lead yet, they're really a contact, and convert them to a lead. Basically, what do you have to do one directional so that they actually respond? Okay. And there's 19 different touches there that they recommend. Okay. Now, what they say is that when you communicate with somebody in your database 36 times systematically over the year, 10% of those people will do business with you each year. So if you have a database of, let's say, 200 people, and you're communicating with them 36 times per year in these methods, right, and giving them the value they want and responding to their questions and these kind of things, that should be 20 transactions that occur. The way they think about it is 10% of those, or I'm sorry, 10 of those transactions, or 50% of the total transactions, will be people actually in your database. The other half will be people that those people refer you to. Make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
Yes.
so one of the things that I would, and then they say 90% of your business comes from 5 or less sources. So don't go try to dabble in like 15 or 20 different lead generation systems. Go go become an expert at 2 or 3 of them. Okay. Be like the best open house and FISBO person in the universe. And I don't care if you know a single expired script. You see what I'm saying? Don't try it all. Just really like quadruple down on a couple. Okay. And then of course, track where your business is coming from, right? If all your business is coming from open houses, then let's focus on open houses, right? All that makes sense?
Yes.
Okay. So, and to answer your question super directly, David, Command, the average internet lead, by the way, is $55 per lead. Okay. Command, Facebook ads through Command are usually, they've been averaging just over $1 a lead. Okay,
Which is a great.
Obviously significant savings, right? So if you were to go on KW Command, or you were to go on KW University, or I'm sorry, KW Connect, and you're watching best practices videos or In Command with Sam about posting on Facebook, or posting Facebook ads through Command, he'll show you best practices. You can design the ads and they can be real modern and colorful. There's templates, all kinds of stuff within Command. And then you can go on some of these Facebook pages, or the Roswell page, or the Georgia Legacy page, and chat with people about best practices. Hey, this one got great results. Hey, this one got lousy results. Hey, it was $3 a lead on this one. It was 75 cents on this one, right? So it's going to be a bit of a process, right? And there's best practices for like what day to post and what time to post and what colors to use and all that kind of stuff. Okay.
Yes.
The bottom line is all of the efforts and money and time that you're putting into lead generation, is it getting you the number of appointments that you need? If the answer is yes, keep it up. If the answer is no, we got to make a change. Make sense?
Yes.
Okay. I'm going to go back to a different share, and I want to just highlight one thing for you guys. So are you both followers, or I guess the word is subscribers to my YouTube channel?
I don't know if I am. Let me see, Bill. Hold on. Let me see YouTube.
All right. I'm going to send you guys a link on this chat thing here.
Okay.
And and I'm going to ask that you guys subscribe to the YouTube channel, which is, let me make sure I do send you the right link. Hang on one moment. I know I sent it in the email from Sunday. Hang on just 2 seconds. There's way too many windows open and everything is being slowed down. Hang on. You guys are getting the email on Sunday nights, correct?
Sure.
Yes, sir.
And now you're making me feel old.
Oh, sorry.
That's okay. It's okay. I'm just messing with you. Where is this thing? All right. I'm right there. Hang on, guys. Exciting week in productivity coaching ahead. Okay, so I'm going to click on the link for the YouTube page and make sure that you guys have access to that. All right. Oh my gosh, so slow. There's also a couple of links on there that of some videos that I think are really helpful. So one is called the review of the economic model and lead generation model. That's where I go through the MREA spreadsheet with a couple of people all at the same time. And I think the video that I linked it to actually is like 3 different people with 3 different goals, right? And that was really helpful because I had like the 3 screens and I was like, all right, you're this, you need to have this number of contacts a week. You have to have this number of appointments a day, all that kind of stuff. So that link is the YouTube page and you can subscribe and like it and follow it and get notifications when new videos are uploaded.
I did right now. It's done.
Perfect.
Okay, I did mine too.
All right, beautiful. So if you go in here, there's a couple of really good videos that I would recommend. Okay. First of all, I want you guys to watch the PC orientation if you haven't already watched that. There is a, let's see, here's probably my favorite of the PC orientations, right there. I also have a class that I've taught a few times called 10 Steps to 6 Figures. I might have to rebrand that because Joanne was talking about 6 steps to 6 figures. Who's going to come to 10 steps to 6 figures if there's a class 6 steps to 6 figures? Man, she surprised me on that. I'm going to have to go through a whole rebrand now. So here's a link to that class.
Okay.
Okay. This is a really good one. Okay. The lead generation and economic model link, which what is that? All right, hang on. It's playing one of the videos actually. So this review of the economic model and lead gen model, this is kind of the beginnings of Lawanda, the 4-in-1 that I have been sending out. Okay. And the other link that I want to send to you, make sure you're pulling these off because as soon as I close the room, they'll be gone. Okay.
Okay.
I mean, they're all in the YouTube channel, but I'm just trying to make it real easy for you here. Create your own business plan. This is a video that I did called the 90-day GPS. Okay. Now this is essentially, hang on one moment. Okay, let me try to explain this kind of flow to you guys really fast, just to make sure you're clear on conceptually how it works. Okay, we go to the economic model. Actually, there's something first. The first thing would be, what is your someday goal? right? Someday I want to have a lake house. Someday I want to be a millionaire. Someday I want to have 5 investment properties. Someday I want to, live at the mountains or something, right? So is there a financial component to that, right? How much money am I going to have in order to achieve that someday goal, right? So let's say that I'm going to need $400,000 to have that someday goal. Okay. So in order to be on track for that someday goal within, let's say, the next 5 years, what do I need to be doing, or what do I need to have earned, or what do I need to have saved, something like that, right? And say, in order for me to be on track in 3 years to hit my 5-year goal so that I can be appropriate in the moment and hit my someday goal, what should I be up to at 3 years, right? So what we're trying to do is create a goal, right? Then what we have to do is create the financial analysis for that goal, right? So let's say in order to be on track in 1 year for my 3-year plan, my 5-year plan, and my someday plan, I need to earn $200,000 this year. Now, how's that going to happen? Right? So the first place we go is the economic model. So we say, I'm going to help a bunch of $300,000 sellers, and I'm going to help a bunch of $350,000 buyers, and I need to earn this amount of money, and this is my average commission. And so what it spits out basically is, how many appointments do I need? Okay, great. So now we know what we're working with. If I have this number of appointments, I'll sell what I need to sell, I'll earn what I need to earn, and I'll be on track for all my goals. Great. Now where are all these appointments going to come from? That's kind of where we go to that lead generation model, which we just looked at, that basically says, look, I got 50 different ideas on how I'm going to bring people into my world. What should I focus on today? Right? Then we would get something to the effect of, well, I need to talk to 15 people per day in order to book a certain amount of appointments. Okay, great. How long is it going to take you to do that? Right? Well, it's going to take me 2 hours. Okay, let's see. So you try it for a couple of days, and maybe try it for a couple of weeks, and you realize that actually it's going to take 3 hours. Okay, well, you need to block off the appropriate amount of time each day so that stuff gets done. Or you might realize that you're more efficient than you thought, and it's going to take an hour. Well, in that case, all you need to do is block off an hour. Okay. So the end result of that discussion is you have what I call big rocks, right? I need to have this many listings at all times. I need to speak to this number of people every day. I need to book this number of appointments every week, that kind of stuff. Then what we do is we create what's called a GPS, goals, priorities, strategies. So there's some videos in the YouTube channel on GPS, okay? And one of the links above is GPS, okay? That's goals, priorities, and strategies, okay? And I went and created a GPS for you guys and walked you through the mechanics of it, and the psychology behind it, and the logistics behind it. So then we would say to ourselves, okay, we're going to do X number of open houses. We're going to talk to X number of people for home buyer seminars. We're going to go on X number of appointments, etc. Okay. Then what we need to do is we need to say, well, how do I make sure I stay on track? Right. So I have this document that I send out every week. Where did I put it? Okay. It's called the 411. So what that does is it takes all of here we go. It takes all of my annual goals, all of my monthly goals, and then it separates this into the weeks, right? So for example, it would say, I need to have my group take 100 listings over the course of the next 12 months for me to hit my financial goals. So that means each month they need to take 9. Okay. And then I would go to the week and say, we need to do 9 listings this week, crew. Right. And then after the week, they do 2. And I say, okay, well, 2 are done here. So now I need to do 7 in this week. Right. Or if I want to say, I want to read 30 books. Okay. So I need to read 2 a month. And then what weeks am I going to do them here? So I'm basically tracking my priorities. Now, if I don't clearly know what my priorities are, and I don't show up to work and say, oh, these are my priorities, this is what I should do today, right? If I don't know what they are, I don't have them written down, or I don't have some type of routine of reviewing them, what ends up happening is I get to my desk and I say, well, what am I supposed to do today? Well, I don't know what I'm supposed to do today. Let me check my email, see if anyone else is going to tell me what to do today. And you immediately go to where everyone else's priorities are. What you should be doing is focusing on yours, right? And you go book the appointments you need to book. You go add the people you need to add to your database. You go study and read and contribute in the ways that you know are going to move the needle for your business, right? And so David and LaWanda, if you go back and you watch these videos, I walk you exactly through how to build the 411, how to build the GPS, and how to make all the edits. There was also another video. I don't have access to it at this moment, but if you go back on, I believe it was not yesterday, but a week ago yesterday, I did a video. Hang on one second. I did a video on the GPS and the 411. And I walked you through not only how to create it, but I gave you lots of ideas on what should go inside of it. And I gave you a bunch of ideas on like mechanically how to edit how to follow each of the week's progress, right? By the way, any goal that you have, you could create a 1-3-5 around it. I talked about this in the session, okay? What I mean by that is, let's say I've been talking primarily about a business goal. I want to close 20 homes this year. Okay, so how is that going to happen? Okay, I'm going to book a bunch of appointments, and I'm going to hold a bunch of open houses, and I'm going to add a certain number of people in my database, and I'm going to have a communication plan for customer service or something like that, right? But what if you wanted to, I don't know, let's say save up $30,000 to put a down payment on an investment home, or I wanted to take my family on a cruise, or I wanted to lose 20 pounds or something like that. I could create a list of priorities and strategies that will, if executed, right? And if I allow accountability into my world, I will deliver on those results, right? So if I want to lose 20 pounds, one of my priorities might be exercise. One of my priorities might be adjustments to my diet. One of my other priorities might be I need an accountability partner, or I need a coach, or I need a trainer or something like that, right? Or I need to, my wife's right here. Oh, she left, but it's like, hey baby, if I try on a shirt and I look fat, just tell me I look fat, okay? So I can go work out, right? So you need to bring accountability into your world. So anytime you have a big goal, you can use one of these tools to create a business plan around how am I going to make this successful. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay. So I'm going to first request, LaWanda, that you go back and watch some of these videos. And then I believe I was pretty thorough in the videos. If it brings up any questions, or you want some more clarity on something, or you want to send me your own version and we can tweak that, more than happy to work on that for you. Obviously, same thing for you, David, and anyone in the world who might be watching. Okay?
Okay.
And that, again, guys, I cannot tell you how important it is. This business is full of distractions, full of them. Everyone wants to have coffee and ask you a bunch of questions. Okay. You've got to be, it's like I said today, and we'll end with this little piece is, let me read you this exact quote. Okay. Says, where's this thing? Hang on. If you control your morning, you will control your day. Consistent start times will bring you consistent income, just like inconsistent activities will bring inconsistent results. Accountability is key. Who is holding you accountable to your goals? The difference between the best and the rest is how they manage their time. It's that simple. That simple.
Is that what you, the one you were telling about this morning, the guy, you Glover or whatever? Okay.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. So sometimes you just need to hear it from a different mouth, you know? The greatest part about this business Well, let me rephrase that. The greatest part about my affiliation with Keller Williams and y'all's affiliation with Keller Williams is they teach you how to think so that you can get what you want when you want it. That's what leadership is. Okay. If you guys walk in the door and you say, hey, Bill, where are all the people making money, having fun? And you go do that stuff, there's an incredibly good chance you're going to make money and have fun.
Mm-hmm.
If you elect not to do any of that stuff or want to do it your way or whatever, great. I wish you all the best. Okay. And if you need help along the way, I'd love to help you. Okay. But there are models and systems proven. Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Y'all want to grab any more of those links? Are you good?
Hold on to make sure I didn't mix any.
Just comb back through the YouTube page. There's a lot of good content in there, I think at least. Please let me know if you have any questions along the way. Okay. And thank you very much for joining us.
All right. Thank you so much. Greatly appreciate your time, Bill.
Likewise.
Thank you, Bill.
Nice to talk to you, David.
Bye-bye, guys. Thank you very much.